Hello, this is Dr. Duffy, principal at James Monroe High School. With students scheduled to return to school starting the week of January 19th, I want to share with you some information that will help orient you to some of the new procedures and processes we'll be following. We are all very excited for the chance for many of you to return to in-person learning. This presentation will include information about our procedures for arrival and departure, what it will be like to go to class, as well as change classes. I will also provide you with some details about new procedures at school. When you arrive to school by bus, you will be dropped off by the teacher parking lot and enter the school through that side entrance. This entrance is to the left as you face the front of the building. If you are dropped off by car, or if you bike or walk to school, you will need to enter through the main entrance. These procedures are in place so that we can check students into the building safely. Either before or after you enter the building, you will be asked a series of health screening questions. These include whether you have a new loss of taste or smell, a sore throat, a cough, fever, muscle aches, among other possible symptoms of COVID infection. Your temperature will also be taken. Once cleared, you will have access to a grab-and-go breakfast on your way to class. If you arrive to school and have any symptoms, or if you develop any of these symptoms during the school day, you will be escorted to a COVID health room where you will wait until you can be picked up. While at school, you will be required to wear your mask at all times and remain socially distanced. That's 6 feet apart. You must wear your mask correctly over your mouth and nose. Students are not allowed to hug, shake hands, dap, or engage in any other greeting or practice that brings you within 6 feet of another person. The only exception to the mask wearing is that you can eat your breakfast in homeroom, so long as you remain at least 6 feet apart and you put your mask back on immediately once you are finished. For the health and safety of everyone in the school, violations of these practices will not be tolerated. When you report to school for the first time, you will be able to pick up a paper copy of your schedule and a map of the building. Staff will be in the hallway to support you the first week of school. Please make sure you review your schedule on PowerSchool and the maps in this presentation, if you can, prior to your first day back. You will notice on the map that the main hallways on the first and second floors are two-way. See the blue circles on the map. You should stay to the right, single file, to maintain proper social distancing. You will also notice that the side hallways in the academic pods, 2 downstairs, 2 upstairs, see the blue circles, are all one way. You will see that the floor plan for the second floor is very similar to that of the first floor. You will see that the main stairwells off the commons and at the teacher parking lot entrance are all one way up. The 2 back stairwells are one way down. Here's a map of the first floor. Notice the location of the gym, student entrances, as well as location of up and down stairwells. You can also see the location of the 2 COVID health rooms. Notice that if you have a class in room 106 and your next class is in room 100, you will have to loop around that pod hallway the long way counterclockwise to get to your next class. Here's a similar view of the second floor. with stairwells, hallways, and classrooms all labeled. As you enter class, you'll have access to hand sanitizer. You'll also see desks that are either spread out or marked off so that students are properly spaced in the room. You will also be asked to disinfect your desk and chair each time there's a class change. Wipes will be provided by your teacher. You will also notice that each room is labeled with a capacity. Keep in mind that you will not have access to lockers or the locker rooms. You must also bring your own water and snacks. During transitions in the hallways, it is especially important that you monitor the distance between yourself and the person in front of you. If you both stretch your arms toward each other, you should be far enough apart that your fingers won't touch. We will dismiss students by different sections of the building by announcement. We do this to make sure the hallways don't get crowded. We encourage you to pick up a grab-and-go lunch on your way out. You are also required to go directly to your bus or car and not socialize as you leave campus. And now I want to let you know a little bit about a few new procedures that will affect students learning virtually and in person. Starting on January 19th, all students are required to attend all virtual homeroom meetings. We have already required attendance at all class meetings, but the attendance at homeroom meetings is a new requirement. You will receive many important announcements and updates during these homeroom meetings. The easiest way to think about it is that now school is school. We will all be attending the classes at the same time, either from home or in the building. On Wednesdays, students will need to register their attendance through a form. This will be explained to you on Tuesday, and this is for homeroom only. Don't worry if you have any difficulty with this Wednesday homeroom attendance form. We will follow up with students to support anyone who has difficulty completing the form. If you come to school, you will report to your homeroom first in the morning on A days. You will report to your first period class on B days. In other words, on B days, students will have to attend their homerooms virtually, whether you are in school or at home. I also want to remind you again that you will need to bring your laptop fully charged to school. You should also bring your headphones if you have them. We will have some on hand if you need it. And remember that you will not have access to your lockers. Thank you for listening to this presentation. I hope I've settled some questions you might have had. You know by my weekly phone calls and newsletters that we have made many adjustments to support student learning over the course of this year. I hope you also know by now that through this presentation that we are also taking your health and safety, as well as that of the teachers and staff, very seriously too. I encourage you to consult any of these resources in order to stay fully plugged in at James Monroe High School this year. We are all here to help. Please call us if you need anything at 540-372-1100. We look forward to seeing so many of you come back to school at James Monroe High School. And as I always say, it's a great day to be a Jacket.